Tamara Łempicka, the queen of Art Deco, counted among the most outstanding female artists of the 20th century. "There are no miracles, there is only what you make," was a favorite saying of Tamara Łempicka, the best-known woman painter of the late 1920s and early 1930s. Today, her Art Deco portraits fetch well over $20 million at auction. They depict the rich and famous, industrialists, tycoons and their wives, queens, and ordinary women. Łempicka created her own brand. "I was the first woman to paint cleanly, and that was the basis of my success. From 100 pictures, mine will always stand out," she claimed. Her paintings are distinguished by bright, vivid colors and their models' elegance and sensuality. Łempicka was the first to show independent, strong women who were charming, even provocative. Her best-known works include Autoportrait or Tamara in a Green Bugatti, 1929, and Young Lady with Gloves, 1930. Łempicka's paintings are displayed in the world's greatest art museums, including the Centre Pompidou in Paris, and are highlights of private collections. Her most famous fan is Madonna, who owns several Łempicka canvases and has used them in her music videos. Tamara Łempicka was born Tamara Rosalia Górwik-Górska, with her birthplace variously listed as Warsaw or Moscow, and her birth year as the 16th of May 1894 or 1898. She spent her childhood in Warsaw, then under Russian rule, at the family home of her mother, Malwina Dekler. Very little is absolutely certain about Tamara Łempicka's biography, because she wrote her own story, presenting only what she chose. She was self-invented as an artist, and her life became part of that. In 1916, she married Tadeusz Łempicki in St. Petersburg, Russia, and gave birth to her only daughter, Maria Krystyna, known as Kizet. When the October Revolution broke out in Russia, Tadeusz was arrested. Tamara managed to get him out of prison. They left Russia and started a new life in Paris. "When I was 5 years old and slept at my great-grandmother Tamara's house, she would tell me that after escaping from Russia, she was virtually penniless. That's when she decided to become the most famous woman painter in Paris and buy a diamond bracelet for every painting she sold, until she ended up with bracelets from her wrist to her elbow," said Marisa de Łempicka, the artist's great-granddaughter and founder of Tamara de Łempicka estate. Family accounts reveal that it was her sister, Adrianna Górska de Monton, an equally extraordinary woman, who gave Tamara the idea of becoming a painter. In 1928, Adrianna became the first woman to receive a diploma in architecture from the École Spéciale d'Architecture in Paris. She designed numerous modernist buildings in the French capital. Her suggestion to Tamara was that the new architecture of glass, steel and concrete lacked companion pieces in art. Łempicka made the most of this opportunity, creating some of the finest Art Deco paintings to combine modernism and cubism with touches inspired by the Italian masters of Mannerism. She was fearless and determined, acting as her own agent and setting prices for her works. With the earnings from her first portraits, she bought a flat in a modernist building on Michel Street, Paris, where she would throw parties and display her latest work. At openings, Tamara would dress in haute couture sent to her by top fashion designers, though she also made some of her own dresses and designed some of her jewelry. She had to look perfect. Łempicka choreographed her life like a theatre director, casting herself and her loved ones in various roles. Even though she took lovers herself, Łempicka would not accept that Tadeusz left her for another woman and never finished his portrait. Feelings she tended to express through art. When Kizet at one point reproached her for not being an affectionate mother, Tamara protested, "But I paint you. Your portraits will hang in the greatest museums in the world and make you immortal. Marisa de Łempicka recalled. Although a citizen of the world, Tamara Łempicka always stressed that she was Polish. In 1928 to 1929, she visited Poland twice. In 1933, she married Baron Kufner. With the approach of World War II, the couple moved to the United States and settled in Hollywood. Tamara helped raise funds for war-torn Poland, donating to the Paderewski Testimonial Fund, among others. She sewed special uniforms for women involved in these charitable activities. With her, even volunteer work had to be done with style, said Marisa de Łempicka. After her second husband died, Tamara traveled around the world before taking residence in Houston, Texas, where her daughter lived. She spent her final years in Cuernavaca, Mexico. Łempicka never gave up painting, although her work no longer enjoyed the popularity it had in the 1920s and 1930s. Her own personal favorite was the Mother Superior, 1935. Tamara Łempicka died in her sleep on the 18th of March 1980. Her ashes were scattered over the Popocatépetl volcano. Life is like a journey, Łempicka used to say. Pack only the bare necessities, because you have to leave room for what you collect along the way.